everybody, welcome to Shell Lectures. So today we will be dealing with class 11 NCERT Physics, chapter number 2, a small topic which is dimensions. Dimensions and applications. Dimensions and applications. So what are these dimensions? So we already know that there are 7 fundamental units. There are 7 fundamental units. What are they? Length, mass, time, temperature. Length, mass, time, temperature, luminous intensity, electric current, and amount of substance. So these are the 7 fundamental units, and what are their units we have learned in the previous chapter. So these 7 fundamental units, or these 7 fundamental units are also known as base units. So these 7 base units can be used to represent the units of the physical quantities which have derived units. For example, if we are putting together mass, then time, then mass, time and length. For example, if you are putting them together, length it's meter, mass it's kg, time is second. So if you put them together, you can get one physical quantities unit, that is kg ms power minus 1. That is, this is nothing but the unit for momentum. Am I right? So the unit for momentum is kg ms power minus 1. So this is a derived physical quantity. So because this is a derived unit, we have derived this unit from these kind of fundamental units. So this one, all the derived units can be represented by a specific structure or a specific formula, and that formula is known as dimensional formula or dimensional formula. Okay, so that's known as dimensional formula. So what is dimensional formula? The combination of all the fundamental units which are put together to represent a derived unit. Okay, so all these can be used. So how do we represent each of them? That's what is the next topic. How do we represent all of these? For length we use L, and that square thing represents that it's a dimension. Okay, the square thing represents that it's a dimension. For mass M, for time T, capital. Okay, everything is capital. For ampere A, for temperature Kelvin K, and for luminous intensity small cd, candela, and then for amount of substance small letters mole. Okay, so these are the dimensions of all these fundamental quantities. So you can put 2 or 3 of these together and get the dimensional formula for a derived unit or a derived physical quantity. Okay. For example, if you are taking force, what's the formula for force? F is equal to ma. Am I right? So this is m, that is kg. Okay, the SI unit is kg. And then acceleration, what is the unit? Meter per second square. Am I right? So meter per second square. So you can write it as meter second inverse. Right? So meter per second square is nothing but meter second when it comes to the top minus 2. Meter per second is nothing but meter second when it comes to the top minus 1. So meter second power minus 2. So how do I write this? Kg m, then meter. Am I right? It's meter. So L, and then second time power minus 2. That's it. So this is the dimensional formula for force. Okay. Also for velocity, whatever is the velocity is, you should not mind about whether it's initial velocity or change in velocity or final velocity or whatever. For every velocity, what's the unit first of all? ms power minus 1. M is length and second is t power minus 1. That's it. This is the dimensional formula for velocity, whatever the velocity is. So it never depends upon the magnitude. Okay, dimensional formula never depends upon the magnitude. So simply we can say a dimensional formula is nothing but a representation in which all the physical quantities are raised to the powers in which their derived units are raised. Okay, so let me read out the definition for you. The dimensions of a physical quantity are the powers to which the base quantities are raised to represent that quantity. So these all are the base quantities, the fundamental quantities. So the powers to which they are raised to represent this quantity, this derived quantity is known as dimensions, and the formula which represents all the dimensions is known as dimensional formula. Okay, also for volume, if we see it for volume, what's the formula for volume? Length into breadth into height. After all, they all are lengths. Okay, they all are lengths, they are all measured in meter. So we can put it as meter into meter into meter. So meter into meter into meter is meter cube. So you can put it as L cube. Don't confuse, as it's m, I have to put it as m cube, it's wrong. Meter cube, so you can put it as L cube. Okay, so this is what is dimensional formula, and it's all the kind of how you can derive them, all that. Okay, so now you have been given a lot of dimensional formulas in your book. Now let us know what is a dimensional equation. Dimensional equation. So an equation is nothing but which equates two sides. Am I right? So if you take volume, okay, if you take volume, what is the formula I told you just now? Meter into meter into meter, meter cube, so it's L cube. Even then you have to write it as meter naught, because it's nothing for many, anything raised to 0 is 1. So meter naught into L cube into T naught. So this is how you write the dimensional formula for volume. Okay, so this is how you write the dimensional formula for volume. Though you have no quantities for m and t, you have to raise them to the power 0. And if you take force, you are having values in m and you are not having value in L. Am I right? And then you are having force is ma. You are having value ml t power minus 2. Okay, so this is how you write for force. And then can you tell me one more? Speed or velocity, that we can write. Speed or velocity, so small v we can use. That is only L t power minus 1. So m is 0. M power 0, L t power minus 1. So these are the dimensional equations example. But you must always see that whenever you write things on LHS, it must always be equal to RHS. For example, if you are equating two physical quantities with an equal to, both of the dimensions must be definitely be equal, or else you cannot equate like that. Okay, so when you are equating two physical quantities with an equal to sign, definitely both of their dimensions must be equal, or else you are not allowed to do that. That's a universal fact. And then why is dimensional formula and dimensions very important? A question like this may arise in your mind. Why are dimensions and dimensional formula very important? That's nothing but only if you know the dimensions, you can come to know whether to add these two quantities or subtract these two quantities. Or else you won't be able to know whether to do any operation with those quantities. Also, if you have things like this, what will you do? kg ms power minus 1 divided by kg m inverse second power minus 2. So what do we do immediately? We cancel both of these. Okay, we love cancelling. No? Whenever we see similar quantities, we immediately cancel. The same thing you can do with dimension also. We put it as ml t power minus 1, and if it is ml t power minus 2, then you can cancel ml and ml. Okay, and then this will come to the top, t power minus 1, then this is minus 2, when it comes to the top it becomes plus 2, then it becomes t power 1. Okay, so this is how you can do these kind of operations can also be done with dimensional formula. Okay, so dimensional formula is different, dimensional equation is different. Dimensional formula is only that thing, MLT thing, and dimensional equation is something where you equate two physical quantities with the same dimensional formula. So by learning these dimensions and dimensional formula, we can also come to know how to deduce very important identities and how to check our derivations. We can also check our derivations, that we will be learning in the next video. That is how to check whether the unit is right, or how to check whether two physical quantities have the same dimensional formula, or all these we can do with this. So that's it. So also we can derive the dimensional consistency and the homogeneity of physical quantities by writing the dimensional formula. To your surprise, many physical quantities may have the same dimensional formula. You have been given with a lot of dimensional formulas in your appendix at the last of the book. You can refer that many physical quantities may have similar dimensional formula. Okay, so this is what the introduction about dimensional formula. The next video I will be visiting you with an expanded part of dimensional formulas. Till then, stay tuned to all of my videos. Like and share this video to whomever you know. Thank you.